Live from Omaha, Nebraska, ESPN proudly presents the 40th NCAA Volleyball Championship match. It has been a long, challenging, and very different season. And now two teams stand above the rest and will play for the title. The Kentucky Wildcats, their first ever national championship appearance. The opponent, the Texas Longhorns, looking for the third championship in their storied history. This is what's at stake. We are down to two. At the end of tonight, one team will take home the trophy.
Baby, we're here to get loud.
Ripped down the line by Avery Skinner. What a defensive save.
Unbelievable defense.
Oh, ripped into the cross court. Off the block and down, and Kentucky's moving on.
When we play Kentucky volleyball, we know what the result will be. We just need to trust ourselves, lean in, and know that we can do it.
Ooh, nice play out of the back row. Logan Eggleston unloading out of the pipe. Fields with a field goal right through Devin Robinson. We might have a challenge. It looked like that might have been touched by the block. Touch off the block, and Texas will play Kentucky for the national championship.
We need to focus on ourselves and continue to play high-level volleyball like we know we can. Just leave it all out on the floor.
And it was for champions only. Number 4 seed Texas, the title holders again in the Big 12, and for Kentucky, the number 2 seed for the 4th straight year. They have taken home the SEC championship. A quick comparison of these two teams, 27-1, 23-1 combined. I mentioned the championships. Both Logan Eggleston, Conference Player of the Year, Madison Lilly, All-American setter of the year in her conference, and the American Volleyball Coaches Association Player of the Year. Craig Skinner, AVCA Coach of the Year as well, and 2 first-team All-Americans, Logan Eggleston, along with Breon Butler. Hi everybody, I'm Paul Sunderland, my partner once again, 3-time All-American at Penn State, Salima Rockwell. It has been, as I mentioned, a very unique, long season. But Salima, you've played in this match before back in 1993. Take us on both sides of the net. What are these players going through to make sure they play their best in this important moment?
Well, I tell you what, there are nerves. You cannot deny the fact that there are nerves going on right now, but they need to just stay with their routines. That's the key to any match, is doing what you've always done and not try to do anything out of the ordinary. Coaches know it, need to keep them loose and ready, and they just need to be in a good place mentally to play this match tonight.
You know what's extraordinary? Kentucky's offense. Take us through that and what makes them so special.
I tell you what, this offense is so fast and so efficient. It is the #1 offense in the country for a reason. Madison Lilly, when she gets a perfect pass, even when she doesn't, can dish this ball all around the court, and that speed is dangerous and effective.
And Salima, you say, okay, Kentucky's a really good offensive team, but when you up the quality of opponent, look what they've done against Washington, Purdue, and Western Kentucky as well.
Well, it's unbelievable. Those teams have held their opponents. You look at that first column, and these are the numbers they've held their opponents to. This is what Kentucky has done in the tournament against those teams. It is astronomical. Those numbers are astronomical, what they've been doing.
You like astronomical.
I do.
If you like astronomical, let's talk about Texas's offense. That's where the battle's going to be. Who can possibly stop the other?
It's going to be really difficult for both teams, but I tell you, this Texas offense is loaded. Texas is good in system and out of system. They can score from anywhere on the court. So this is what they're going to rely on, passing well, but really just moving the ball around and being balanced.
The same comparison. Number 1 seed Wisconsin goes down to Texas 3-0. Wisconsin held their opponents to 137 efficiency. Texas hits 306, 336 against Nebraska, right on down the line. 2 offensive juggernauts. This could be a classic like 2018. Don't you think, Holly Rowe?
Absolutely, and you talk about the offensive firepower. Well, let's talk about the 2 setters who are making that go and setting everyone up. Let's start with Texas, because Jenna Gabriel has been fantastic. Many think she is the most improved setter in the country this year. She has so many weapons. Jarrett Elliott said she was very under-recruited, but we fell in love with her feistiness, and they'll need every bit of that tonight. for Kentucky. She was the National Player of the Year, the first SEC player ever to get that prestigious honor, and Madison Lilly is flawless. When you watch her set tonight, you will be amazed at how easy she makes it look. Who will run their offense the best? They'll likely be the national champs at the end of tonight.
Holly Rowe, thank you very much. Now let's meet the teams vying for the championship. First, the Kentucky Wildcats. Well, the time has come, and it has been a long wait as we welcome you live to Omaha as ESPN proudly presents the 40th NCAA Volleyball Championship match. The number 4 seed Texas Longhorns, champions of the Big 12, versus the Kentucky Wildcats. With 3-time All-American Slim Rockwell Hayes. We sincerely apologize for those technical difficulties. We will introduce you to these players over the next couple of hours. Make no mistake about that. That is first-team All-American Allie Stumler. Just hit 381 so far on the year. She is a first-team All-American. And Texas, as you saw, 25-1 now, 16-0 in the Big 12 Conference. And both of these teams, Salima Rockwell, it may be coincidence. It also might have something to do with how these teams advanced into the championship. Both these teams out of the SEC and the Big 12 played a fall schedule and a spring schedule. They've been together for an extraordinarily long period of time.
Well, and that's such a good point because they've had time. They've had time to play together, tweak their lineups a little bit in the fall, see what's working, what doesn't work, and that's a significant advantage when you're here in this moment. That's a long time of training together and getting to know one another and play together.
The 7th national championship match for the Texas Longhorns, looking for their 3rd ever title. First chance for the Kentucky Wildcats. No SEC women's volleyball team has ever won a national championship. It's the only national championship the SEC hasn't won.
Unbelievable. Could this be the night?
Well, the commissioner came to check it out. Greg Stanke, the distinguished commissioner of the SEC. 4,000 fans on hand at the CHI Health Center here in Omaha. Kentucky in the white uniforms. Home uniforms is the higher seed. And immediately, Breon Butler, get used to that name, number 10 in burnt orange out of Kendleton, Texas with a kill.
Well, I tell you what, that's what Texas is going to do. Early on, they want to establish the middle, get that going right away so they can open up things for the pins on the outside.
Breon Butler out to a quick start, was 11 of 16 in the semifinal sweep of Wisconsin. Quick play to the outside, played defensively by number 2, Jenna Gabriel, who Holly Rowe was talking about. Nice off speed by number 17.
Well, smart shot to start it off by Allie Stumler. Texas is going to be ready for them to bang the ball and bring the heat, and it was a nice tip just right over top of the block.
Out of Floyd's Knob, Indiana, one of the best all-around players in the country. Both teams with good early block touches. Settle in. If you're like Rafa Nadal and Roger Federer, that's how long it's going to take. Is it hard to score or what? That could have been a double contact. The Texas coaches are irate. What did you think about the no call?
It was very, very close, and the refs always do their job and set the tone for the match. How loose are they going to call it? How tight are they going to call it? That was a little bit of confusion on the Kentucky side, and you saw Lilly had to get in over top of somebody, so questionable set there.
Best 3 out of 5 sets, first 4 sets to 25 points. Neither of these teams have had to go the distance so far in the tournament. Phillips, first swing off the right side, good high flat. There is Jared Elliott in his 20th year. Once again, the Big 12 Coach of the Year for the 7th time. His 5th championship match appearance as a head coach. Sidney Peterson out of Dike, Iowa, back to serve. Aiden Orange. Zani Teeler blocked straight down by Eggleston.
Unbelievable play, but I tell you, it came from the serve.
Salima, take us through your keys to the match.
Well, Kentucky, when they pass well and they are in system, they are almost impossible to defend. So that's what they have to do. And of course, when they are out of system, they need to be smart. This is a big block for Texas that can really catch them. So that's what they need to do. And of course, on the other side of the net, Texas just has to pass well, establish the middle early, and score when they're out of system. So it's always a serve pass game.
Things never change, whether it's side out scoring, rally scoring,
Nope.
an all white ball. How long ago did we get rid of the all white ball?
No, I'm kind of miss that thing.
Kentucky's passing the ball very, very nicely here. It is legal to kick the ball. That might have been a little bit of frustration. To your point, Salima, about your experience in this situation, I'm very impressed with the, I know it's a small sample size, but very early ball handling by both teams.
I agree, because a lot of times you see just some nerves, and it's not pretty early on, but it's some high-level volleyball already.
Zani Teeler, second team All-American, wearing number 15 out of Grand Prairie, Texas, had a big tournament, hit 375. She will go to the sideline, and we'll see Logan Eggleston, the Big 12 Player of the Year, for the first time out of Brentwood, Tennessee. Stumbler, crossbody out of the back row, beautiful dig right on target. Stumbler out of the back court again. Crossbody and then away, beautifully done by number 17 in white.
I love that. That's probably the most important thing. You look at how they're managing their swings right now, moving it around, trying to change their shots, keep Texas a little bit off balance. You see this one-on-one opportunity here on the pipe, and she goes the other direction for the win.
Skylar Fields with her first look, 6'2" sophomore out of Missouri City, Texas, has had a magnificent season and almost an even better tournament.
Well, it's been a fantastic tournament for them, and you watch Skylar Fields go up and hit that ball. Kentucky just has to let that go. You're going to get some bounce balls. That's just going to happen. Move on, next play.
And speaking of moving on, Fields was 0 for her first 7 against Wisconsin and turned it around and had a big match when all was said and done as Asia O'Neal, who's got a nice jump float, flat serve, misses that just into the top of the tape, and it's a 1-point advantage for Texas.
So this is where Texas needs to pass the ball well in these 2-hitter rotations, see if they can get Butler the ball. She might go behind on the slide, which would open up the pipe as well for Eggleston.
Raya Walker, defensive specialist, had a couple of aces in their semifinal win over Washington. What a good block. Breon Butler on the slide, and Stumbler was there to stop it.
Tell you, that's a nice move. One-on-one opportunity for Stumbler. Dives into that angle on Butler. Not easy to do. Drops in hard. No one there to cover that ball. Look at that drop.
Are you surprised to see Kentucky going one-on-one with the slide?
You know, you got to make a decision, right? It's going to be one-on-one with the slide and send two. You pick one or the other. I don't know. I'm not entirely surprised on that, because Butler doesn't hit that all the time and that often, and maybe it's more dangerous to set Skylar Fields on that ball on the outside.
Nice choice by Jenna Gabriel to go right back to the All-American middle blocker. Rip that one down the line. Here's Gabriel, setter of the year in the Pac-12, the Big 12 Conference. First time we haven't had a Pac-12 team or a Big 10 team in the championship in a long time.
That's right.
Gabriel out of Honolulu, Hawaii, first team all Big 12, and as mentioned, the top setter. And here is Gabby Curry. What a career she has had. Not once, but twice. 3 times Libero of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year in the SEC. We're going to see some missed serves because that's so very important. That phase, you have to take some risks.
You do have to take some risks. Both teams, when they're in system, I mean, are just really, really tough to defend. You want to get the other team off the net just a little bit. And with that comes pace with the serve and potential missed serves.
Here's Nalani Yosia, 5'8" freshman out of Torrance, California, has had a big impact on this tournament defensively and setting balls in rallies. And that ball missed out of bounds. was missed by Maddie Skinner, the younger sister of Avery, 6'2" freshman out of Katy, Texas.
And Maddie Skinner tried to just chop that ball down the line a little bit, missed it. When they're off the net, smart with their swings, keep that ball in play, high off the hands.
Stumler going high, flat through the hands of Butler.
That's the blast that they need on those outer system plays. Can't just go swinging wildly into the belly of the block. You got to take a nice, hard, high rip. Look at her finish. She goes to the top of that block with intent.
Lauren Tharp, 5'6" junior out of Louisville, Kentucky. Another solid DS on the floor for Craig Skinner and the Wildcats. Molly Phillips down the line, and a touch was called. That landed out of bounds. A little micro touch right in front of our first referee, Devaney McClarty.
Nice little cut down the line by Phillips, and a nice job by the line jobs and the refs making that call.
Morgan O'Brien, a transfer from Illinois. She's the only player on either team that has participated in a national semifinal and now on into the final when she was at Illinois. There is Craig Skinner, the National Coach of the Year in his 16th season. He's taken this Wildcats program to the NCAA tournament each and every year. Phillips again, this time against two blockers. Good touch by Teeler out of the middle. And rejected, thrown right back. Second stuff block for Eggleston.
I tell you, I like that play by Teeler. She makes a nice touch block move and goes on the slide, but gets blocked in the end.
Jared Elliott, as mentioned, closing out his second decade in Austin, coaching the Longhorns. Won a national championship in 2012. His fifth venture into the national championship match. 11-9 is the advantage for the Longhorns. That's beautiful offense. Avery Skinner right over the top of the block.
And Kentucky passing so well when they are passing this ball right on the money for Lily. Look at the tempo of this ball. Fast, and O'Neal is fast. I tell you what, she can get pin to pin quickly. Didn't have time to close, but Skinner goes over the top and through that block.
Both teams handling the ball exceptionally. A nice throwdown by Eggleston. And speaking, obviously, being in system, that means passing the ball up to the net to your setter so all options are available. And the numbers for Kentucky are ridiculous. When they're with a perfect pass, they hit 560. That's the battle right there.
That is the battle. That is the battle, absolutely.
Eggleston, 48 aces so far on the year. Has not had a great tournament so far from the service line. And that's going to be a net violation called against Kentucky. That was against Avery Skinner, and now Eggleston and the Longhorns with the largest early lead in this opening set in Omaha.
Well, if Eggleston can put some pressure on Skinner and kind of that half of the court with Tharp and Skinner pulling it off the net, leaves them one option, maybe Stumler out of the back row if needed.
Working on Tharp, exactly right, going against Skinner as well. Good cover by Peterson, and then Skylar Fields once again down the line. Is this the biggest area of improvement for Texas? The libero, yes, but you think their whole defensive phase is completely better?
Absolutely. With Peterson, Yosia, and O'Brien, it's been unbelievable upgrade for the Longhorns.
You've seen that on display already. Texas on top, 14-10.
The NCAA Women's Volleyball Championship is brought to you by Pizza Hut. Order today at pizzahut.com.
Back in Omaha with Salima Rockwell, I'm Paul Sunderland. Coming out of the timeout, Texas with a 14-10 advantage. What have you seen so far, Salima, that's gotten Texas out to this lead?
I'll tell you what, they put some pressure on Kentucky, forcing them off the net. Not in serve receive necessarily all the time, but in transition, they haven't been able to score, and that's what's been a problem for them.
Coming right back with a beautiful side out. And if you're a young volleyball player at home and you aspire to be a really classy All-American Player of the Year setter, just keep an eye on number 4 in white. Excuse me, number 3 in white, Madison Lilly, as Avery Skinner, number 4, puts that ball away. She is a remarkable setter going back to serve. That was passed right on target, but rejected by number 7, Asia O'Neal.
Well, O'Neal does a nice job just staying home on that perfect dig. They know that that's what Kentucky needs. They can't just rely on their outside. So if that ball comes up there, expect Getzinger to get some of those balls in transition. Nice job by O'Neal.
Third stuff block already for O'Neal. And for Texas, you see the huge discrepancy. Kentucky, the #1 ranked offense in the country and in the tournament. Big swing off the left. Maddie Skinner ripping the ball to the floor.
The pace of that ball getting all the way out there to Maddie Skinner on the outside. She loves that fast set. They keep her out there in that rotation. She gets on it quick, hits some serious angles for a freshman.
Walker again served very well in the semifinal and served nice pass. That ball was really moving. Off the inside hand of the block. You've seen the development of Skylar Fields. How has her improvement in moving from the right side to the left side changed Texas?
Well, it changes everything because she's so efficient on the outside, and they need a big banger on the outside. When the ball's off the net, when they don't have other options, what can you do? Coach Elliott said they work on that all the time, every day, out of system, getting those left sides under control and scoring at a high rate.
Stumler comes right back, and O'Brien can't quite track that one down. Skylar Fields, number 5 in orange. You mentioned out of Missouri City, Texas. 333 on the year, but listen to this, 405 in the tournament. And look at the opposition against Penn State, against Nebraska, and against Wisconsin.
I mean, it's ridiculous as a left side anyway, and then you put him against those 3 teams. It's just unbelievable.
Stumler and Trans ripping through the block inside the end line.
Does you want to talk unbelievable? You can talk Ellie Stumler. Oh my goodness, she hits that ball so hard and she has such great vision. I mean, that ball could be stuffed. She sees the block, hits right inside of it.
Stumler, 5 of 6, no errors. She's got heat. Out of system. Oh, look at that. Logan Eggleston using the GPS to find the deep cross-court corner.
I thought this ball was heading out of bounds. Didn't even think she hit it with her hand, man. She caught that corner. Look at this.
Well, that was an opportunity. Finally, Texas well off the net and out of system, but that was just too good a shot. As Yosia comes on to serve, Texas leading it 17-14. Skinner again. Breon Butler right in her face. Ball set too tight. A rare mistake by Gabriel in transition. Oh, that's so good. Stumler again. 6th kill on 8 swings.
Well, Kentucky doing a nice job being patient. We talked about this early. A lot of transition plays, smart with their swings when they're off the net. And she knows she has that inside hand of Butler right now. She's been able to score on it. Butler needs to drop that inside hand and not let her hit that sharp angle.
Breon Butler, it's not really a quick set. It's a slick. It's an oxymoron. It's a slow quick. It's at about 11 feet.
It is. Well, that's what she hits well. I mean, she gets up. Might as well set her high enough for her to go get it and hit around and over the block.
That was a big concern for Kentucky. That's against Azani Teeler, who at 5'10" is manning a middle blocking position. So that's a big ask against Breon Butler or Asia O'Neal. How does Kentucky adjust to that and make it so it works in their favor?
Well, I tell you, if Teeler can dive in the right spot, she gets off the floor. And with that being a hanging 1 ball, she has an opportunity to touch some of those. Making good reads, diving into the angles, she can possibly touch it. They got to serve tough and keep them off the net.
Eggleston, second swing, smartly done off the edge of the block, just like she did to close out the national semifinal. Let's send it back over to Holly Rowe.
Well, you talk about that matchup in the middle with Kentucky's Ajani Teeler at 5'10", but she can jump out of the gym. She spent most of her life as a track athlete, 400-meter runner, and she is athletic. But she said, I know I may not beat that tonight, but I just need to touch it and give my defense behind me a chance.
Thank you, Holly. Boy, good rhythm to the offense, but that ball was hit well wide. That's the second miss out on the perimeter by Skinner, number 4 in white.
Well, you know, they're looking at the defense. You've got Jenna Gabriel at the net. They want to hit over the setter. I mean, that's always part of a strategy. If you don't have a very big blocking setter, hey, let's take this opportunity to hit over the top. But sometimes you're going to miss if you try to hit too sharply over the top.
Very unusual for Kentucky on 28 swings, already 7 errors. On the slide, tucked down inside, and Teeler was late. Teeler trying to defend the middle was late there, and now Texas with a 21-16 advantage and a timeout. The second and final timeout of the opening set is called by the Kentucky Wildcats. Holly, you know, there's some unusual, well, maybe not so unusual. We got some tremendous talent here on the floor, and they come from very, very good lines.
That's right. We've got some young daughters here who are taking after their fathers who were very good NBA players. For Kentucky, we've got Brian Skinner there playing for the Clippers, and these are some old school pictures playing against Jermaine O'Neal. Both of these men have daughters playing in this match today. Brian Skinner out of Baylor has 2 daughters playing for Kentucky, Avery and Maddie. And Jermaine O'Neal, of course, his daughter Asia is playing for the Texas Longhorns. So those are some good, you've got dads that tall. I think it's a good sign for your volleyball daughters, and they have been terrific. They both say we grew up in competitive households. That's what our family did, and they were taught to be very elite athletes at an early age.
And both very long and distinguished careers. Jermaine O'Neal, before the late Kobe Bryant, was the youngest player ever drafted into the NBA, 19-year career, 6-time an All-Star. And Brian Skinner, originally drafted number 22 in the first round by the Los Angeles Clippers. Both of them were absolutely superb. Salima, Texas in control right now. They've got blocks. They're holding Kentucky down. The last play kind of indicative of how it's been going for both of these teams so far in the championship.
Well, you know, it's interesting. We talked about setting over Gabriel, and you look at that block switch. So smart move by Texas, putting O'Neal on the right, and they're still trying to go down the line. Then they can transition out of that for the slide. I mean, I think that was an excellent play by Texas, recognizing they're trying to hit over top of Gabriel, making that block switch with O'Neal.
And Asia O'Neal loves it. She's blocking on the right side, then she didn't have to run all over God's creation to get back out to the slide.
Exactly.
Put yourself over on Kentucky's side right now. How do they recapture some momentum?
I tell you what, they just have to set this ball. Teeler, I like the ball to Teeler. Tell you what, she can score. She can see the block. She can move it around as well. She can hit line and angle. She has to be careful. Logan Eggleston is a very good blocker over there. But if she gets on it quick, she can hit past her fast.
For Teeler, her first kill on 4 swings. Allie Stumler's been superb. Avery Skinner struggling a little bit. I'll give you those numbers. Boy, that was a good set to the outside. Holly Rose said it. Jenna Gabriel, and I agree with that, is the most improved setter among the elite teams in the country.
Well, there's just so much that she's improved on. It's not just location. It's really her decision making. Seeing the block, if you watch her, when the pass comes, she takes a look to the other side of the net almost every time. Where is the block, and who can I set? Doing a nice job getting one-on-ones.
Texas is hitting .462 in the opening set, 13 of 26, 1 error. Kentucky just 161. Good example, perfect location, Skylar Fields, smart shot off the top. Naomi Cabello, one of the top recruits out of Florida, coming on now to add a little size up front. She's the backup setter, a little bit longer than Jenna Gabriel. Texas 2 points away from the opening set. And that ball hit out of bounds. Skinner is struggling out on the perimeter. I mentioned her numbers. That's 4 kills on 13 swings with 4 errors, so she's hitting 0.
Looks like we maybe have a touch call on that.
Did they change it? Did one of the linesmen? I did not see that.
Yep.
I didn't see a challenge, so they gave her a touch. Good. That's good work by the officials, and certainly an important break right now for Kentucky and Avery Skinner. A micro touch, but they all count.
They sure do. A nice high swing by Avery Skinner, getting her team a point.
Eggleston out of the back row, dug by Skinner. That was Lilly, excuse me, and then giving them an opportunity. Beautiful dig by Madison Lilly.
I tell you what, that's what they need to do. When Lilly plays this first ball, they have to be good out of system when someone else is setting the ball. A nice job by Kentucky converting on this out of system play.
Skinner with the kill off the perimeter and coming right back on the slide. Asia O'Neal to get Texas to their first set point. Kentucky has won the opening set in 20 straight matches. The last time they lost a first set was to Missouri. Through the block, beautiful dig by Eggleston. Off the block and out of bounds. Nice swing by Maddie Skinner off the left wing.
This is something that we talked about before. I was concerned about them a little bit out of system, but Maddie Skinner can score. She's so good with a fastball or a high ball.
Set point number 2 for the 4th seeded Longhorns. Fields again, just a sophomore. The amount of time she takes in the air and hitting off the top of the block, Salima.
Does such a nice job. She sees it well. The ball's coming from far away, and she does a nice job controlling it off the top of the block.
The 40th NCAA National Women's Volleyball Championship underway, and Texas takes the opening set.
Coach Sark here, getting ready for the spring game. Just want to take a moment to give a shout out to Coach Elliott and our women's volleyball team as they're embarking on the national championship tonight. Go get them, ladies. It's all gas, no brakes. Hook 'em horns.
Coach Sark said earlier today, as we look at the map of where all the champions have come from, Stanford with 9. They've won 3 out of the last 4. Hit very hard by COVID. They did not qualify. First championship all the way back in 1981 was won by USC. You see Penn State with 7, 4 in a row from 2007 to 2010. And I was reading something about Coach Sark, and they asked him before today's spring game in Austin, and he said, I want my football program to be like our women's volleyball team, which means we're going after a national championship every year.
Tell you what, that is a huge, huge compliment.
Back with 3-time All-American Salima Rockwell, I'm Paul Sunderland. After this point, certainly the adjustments for Kentucky. What do you see from Texas that's made them so difficult to defend?
Well, they're passing well. They're controlling the ball. Jenna Gabriel's doing a really nice job moving it around. And look right here. The distribution is really good. They're hitting at a very high efficiency, hitting I think 455 right now. So it's really, their offense is really taking care of business, but it's their passing that's controlling it.
Overpass and hammered to the floor by Stumbler, number 17. You look at the numbers from Kentucky as Lauren Tharp goes back to serve. They had 7 hitting errors, so they were blocked 3 times. That means Kentucky, such an efficient team, hit 4 balls straight out of bounds. Phillips one-on-one inside the 3-meter line. A pretty nice angle by the 6'5" Phillips.
A serious angle. I mean, she gets up, she's long, she's high above the net, but that's a sharp angle for anyone to try and dig.
Looking at the stats from the opening set, Salima, Texas sided out at 80%.
Yeah, you're going to win a lot of matches doing that.
Yeah, like almost all of them. Nice turn down the line. Stumbler's on fire here early, kind of carrying Kentucky. That's not a surprise. 8 kills on 12 swings, no errors.
What a swing, but look at that delivery by Madison Lilly, way off the net, keeping her in tempo, in rhythm, and she finds that, still facing cross court and cutting that ball across her body down the line.
Phillips again, nice delivery by Gabriel. Holly, you got more on Allie Stumbler.
Well, she has been terrific for Kentucky so far. She comes by her volleyball love very naturally. Her parents actually met playing volleyball. She said, my young cousin dragged me to a camp when I was in 2nd grade, 8 years old, and I haven't looked back. That cousin, Courtney Baird, is actually here in the stands. She said, I really gained my momentum and confidence when I changed clubs, started playing for Kiva and Louisville, and learning that I could be an All-American caliber player, and here she is doing just that.
Teeler looking to go off speed, and a ball once again. It was tight. It was not a perfect set, but you cannot hit the ball out of bounds. That's just a free one from Azani Teeler for Texas.
Yeah, that's a tough one, a tight set. Like you said, she has to feel the block a little bit before you throw it. Got to push it into it when it's that tight, and just missed it a little bit.
Sydney Peterson, who is the starting libero the last couple of years and has readily accepted this new role as a serving and defensive specialist, and a key for the improved passing and defensive phase for Texas. Nice high flat shot. Avery Skinner adjusting the trajectory just a little bit. Skinner now wearing number 4 in white. She now has 7 kills on 17 swings. That's nice.
Yeah, she's warming up, that's for sure. Playing better and better as this match is progressing.
1-on-1 on the slide, and what a roof.
Well, maybe that's why they leave going 1-on-1 with the slide. Excellent left side blockers, dropping into the angle. Look at this move by Avery Skinner. Skinner drops back into this angle, disciplined back into it, just cuts off the angle. Beautiful play.
Remember I asked you if you were surprised if Kentucky was going to take the slide 1-on-1? I guess we're seeing
Not
why.
right now.
Nice tip over the top by Logan Eggleston. That was a spectacular roof. That's 2 blocks for Kentucky so far, 3 for Texas. Heating it up indeed. Avery Skinner, first team All-American 6'1" senior out of Katy, Texas. 3.8 kills per set, 359 on the year. That is just gaudy for somebody who hits so many tough balls.
It really is. Avery Skinner has done such a phenomenal job so far.
1-on-1 on the slide once again. Nice throwdown by Asia O'Neal. Skylar Fields has 5 kills. Eggleston with 5. Molly Phillips with 4. That's a real plus. Breon Butler with 3. And now Asia O'Neal adding to her total.
Distribution is what they were looking for, and that's what they're getting right now.
And all keyed by good passing, being in system. Ball passed up to the setter, and then when you're out of system, the ball's way off the net. You got to find good transition swings. Look at the Skinner sisters here. This is Maddie, the freshman, going right over the top of the block.
I mean, way over top of the block. I mean, she elevated. I'm watching from my perspective, seeing her from this side, up over the top into the deep third of the court.
This is the Kentucky offense that we've seen all season long. 6 of 8 here in the second set. Really good response and turnaround. Eggleston off speed. Nice play defensively. Madison Lilly with a sprawl, and in transition. Once again, Kentucky and Stumler getting the job done.
I tell you, they're doing a really nice job out of system. When Madison Lilly's taking that first ball, they're making smart swings, roll shots into the middle of the court. She's playing some great defense. They're putting it on her. But they needed to be good in that phase, and they're doing it right now.
Ace serve, the first of the match for Kentucky. Texas won the opening set 25-20. They were in control throughout, were the Longhorns from start to finish. Well, Kentucky said, look, not so fast. They've turned it around. Timeout called by Texas. Kentucky up 4. There's only one NCAA championship that the SEC has not won, and the commissioner is on hand to maybe see history made by the Kentucky Wildcats. SEC competes in 21 NCAA championships. Women's volleyball is the only one they have yet to notch in their belt. Coming out of the timeout. Oh, good block and better cover. Wonderful play defensively by Raya Walker in the backcourt. And Skylar Fields again.
Well, Kentucky doing a nice job keeping the ball alive. But I tell you, this play by Jana Gabriel running off the net. That's where she's improved. That ball right there on the run, in system, keeping her hitters in rhythm, excuse me. That's what she's done.
9-6 advantage for Kentucky. Fields doing it at the defensive end. Boy, what a rip. That's an out-of-system play, Salima. Talk to us about in-system in serve receive or in transition and the difference out-of-system.
Well, when that ball is perfect into the net and they can set anybody, that's in-system. When this ball is dug off the net, they have to bump set it. It's high and outside. That's an out-of-system play, and it's very difficult to hit at a high level out-of-system, and Kentucky is doing it right now.
Joust. Azani Teeler getting way up into the night to take on Skylar Fields, but that ball to the floor. Another wonderful defensive play by number 3 in white, Madison Lilly.
Tell you what, getting up high, that is that is at a different altitude, Paul.
Well, you said Azani Teeler could get up. Remember, she's only 5'10" and playing middle blocker.
That's unbelievable.
Yosia on to serve, working on Stumler. High flat, can Curry run it down? She does. A couple of spectacular plays by Gabby Curry, but then Breon Butler saying not this time.
Holy moly. Gabby Curry makes this huge play. That's enough, and then she comes back in, and huge dig off of Breon Butler. Unbelievable defense on the Kentucky side.
And Lilly with a perfect delivery to Stumler, but the block by Butler was just too good. Ace serve. We might have a challenge, the Kentucky sideline, and we might have our first challenge. 3 challenges per team. Unless we go the distance, an additional challenge will be granted to each team if we go to 5 sets. This is challenging in or out. The ace was called. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I think that ball's out. Any part of the ball on any part of the line, in or out, a touch off a player either at the net or in the backcourt, 3-meter line foot fault, service line foot fault, up or down, and 4 contacts. What do you think, Salima?
Yeah, so you see when that ball crosses the line, it looks blurry at first, but once it kind of makes contact, it looks like the whole ball is out of bounds to me.
Challenges, or lack thereof, have been a huge topic and influence in this tournament. There was a net violation in the semifinal between Kentucky and Washington that was missed by the officials. Azani Teeler was in the net. Wow, wow. Well, I'm consistent.
You are, and I'm with you, though. I joined you on this one.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah,
thank you.
Anytime.
You got my back.
Whatever
I thought that ball was out of bounds. But again, the video evidence has to be 100% conclusive, and the official determined that that was not the case. That's a big call. And that's going to be a net violation. That was on Logan Eggleston. So Kentucky leads it 11-9. They led 9-5 early. Kentucky, the overall number 2 seed. That's their highest seed ever. Previously, it was number 4. Texas, the number 4 seed. Being told the violation was on Breon Butler, but she gave the evil eye to Logan Eggleston like it was her fault. Phillips off the block and out of bounds. When I talked to Craig Skinner this morning and asked him who his serving targets were, he said nobody, but he said seams. What do you mean by that?
Well, the seams are in between the passers. You try to force them to not know who's going to get the ball and really have some confusion. Those are tough balls to pass. Seams and just hitting a tough serve. He also said that. Just hit your best serve, and let's see if we can get them in trouble.
Rise and hammer once again for Azani Teeler. We'll give you the numbers. Stumler leading the way with 10 kills. Avery Skinner has 8. Maddie Skinner with 5. Azani Teeler with just her 2nd.
Well, they're making their way back, hitting .444 right now in this set. This is normal Kentucky offense that we're used to seeing.
Good block out of the middle. Azani Taylor with the read. How big is that?
It was huge, but that's the move. It's a dive into an angle. She's waiting for it, sees it, and then dives into that angle. It's a beautiful play by Azani Taylor. Because she gets up off the ground so high, she has time. She can hang up there and make that move.
Tough serve. The ball is called down. A serve for Kentucky, and they go out and extend their lead now to 14-10. Texas has used one of their 2 allotted timeouts. Phillips' right side again is blocked. Straight down stuff that time by Avery Skinner.
So Kentucky doing a really nice job reading the offense, getting over the net, defensively stepping up.
Timeout called. Kentucky with a 15-10 lead. What a bounce back. Let's go over to Holly Rowe.
Well, guys, Kentucky was coming off a real high when they won in their national semifinal match. They got back into the locker room and received the absolutely devastating news that one of their fellow student athletes, men's basketball player Terrence Clark, just 19 years old, had been killed after a car accident. It was absolutely gutting. They were sick to their stomach, as was all of Big Blue Nation. He was declaring for the NBA draft, his whole future ahead of them, and it has been absolutely so upsetting for the entire world, basketball world. We're seeing so many people talk about the impact that he had on them there at Kentucky, and these young women have said it was important that they remembered him. Both Coach Skinner and the ladies said he is on their mind.
I want to send our prayers and thoughts to Kentucky men's basketball and Terrence Clark passing. What an awful situation.
Just want to acknowledge and offer our sincere condolences for the Clark family, the Kentucky basketball family, and Kentucky athletics as a whole. We really take a lot of pride in how we play for other teams and how we really are a family. So sending prayers and thoughts during this tough time.
And tonight they will be playing for number 5. You can see their locker room sign. They want to know, they want the family to know, and all of Big Blue Nation, that they are united in this moment of tragedy, and hope that they are bringing some level of comfort and spirit to all of that country tonight.
Thank you, Holly. Just a devastating situation to lose someone so tragically, so young. Good turnaround here for Kentucky. They hit 216 in the opening set, sided out at 66%. Texas sided out at 80%, so a big advantage there. But Kentucky 444 here in the second, led by Allie Stumler, but getting a lot of help. Good balance for Kentucky now as well. Lily makes the first contact. And again, this is not the best situation for Kentucky, and they hit that ball out of bounds. Why does Kentucky struggle so much in transition when their setter, Madison Lilly, makes the first contact?
Well, they've had some sets that maybe have been inside or dying, and you know, they're just working on. That's something you have to work on all the time. Certainly, I'm not saying they're not working on it, but that's just a tough play when the setter takes the second handle of the ball and the outsides to take care of it. It's a lot.
And that ball drifts out of bounds. Just to finish the point, we're talking to the Texas coaching
to take care of it. It's a lot.
And that ball drifts out of bounds. Just to finish the point, we're talking to the Texas coaching staff, and when the ball first, they hit negative in transition, does Kentucky. So that's a big tactic to try to get the ball on the National Player of the Year, number 3 in white, the setter. Try to get that ball on her if you're Texas for the first contact.
And I tell you what, they've been doing a good job of it actually so far. Kentucky has been, so that was one of their first misses off of her digs.
Logan Eggleston going high flat, registering another kill in this set. Texas has really cooled off, and as you might imagine, Kentucky has heated up. Texas hitting only 263 so far in the second. Kentucky 333. Eggleston at the line. Stabbed by Gabriel. Boy, right on the spot. Avery Skinner struggled early. Boy, has she really turned it around.
She has. You can see it in her body language, her demeanor. This ball comes up at the net, and she is ready, locked in, fully engaged, knows exactly where Skylar Fields is going to play this ball. does a nice job at the net.
Short serve again on the overpass. One sister on the right, the other sister on the left, and right back at you, at least from where we're sitting in the end zone.
That's it. Well, their causes in Texas all kinds of trouble right now with serving pressure, moving the ball around, serving short, serving deep, and really getting them out of rhythm.
There's a much more relaxed father, at least for the moment. First national championship match for the Kentucky Wildcats. That ball's hit out of bounds. And now Kentucky out to a big lead, 19-12. Texas is out of timeouts.
Well, Texas just has to control the ball here. First ball pass like they had been doing, but I like the serving of Kentucky right now.
And Skylar Fields restoring some order momentarily. What's Kentucky seeing in terms of their service game? Because they're getting Texas out of system a lot here in the second.
You know what's really been working is dropping the ball short, and not just an easy short serve, but intentionally trying to take something off passers. That's where Texas is having some trouble right now handling the ball.
Skinner again, number 2. Maddie having an outstanding freshman season, one of the top recruits, playing with her older sister, hitting .376 on the year. Think she's got a bright future ahead?
I think she's going to be all right.
I think she's going to be all right. I think that's a good way to put it. Raya Walker out of Sarasota, Florida, on to serve. Walker with the stab and tucked inside. Kentucky, the Wildcats on a roll. Big lead, 21-13.
Tell you, Raya Walker's come in and made some big plays. We don't talk about her enough. Tough server and can do it defensively. She is deep on defense and lays out here, controls this ball, gives it enough height for something to happen. And a nice cut by Maddie Skinner to finish.
Skinner hitting .538, 8 of 13. And Skylar Fields. What you've got, I've got as well. But if you're Skinner or the Skinners, the coach, the sisters, you look up at the scoreboard and go, hey, we're up by 7.
Well, that's a big swing, and that's what they need. That's what Texas needs right now. Move the ball around. Can't hit it right at the defenders. These Kentucky defenders are solid. They are very good. You got to work the sidelines, the end line, and the edges of the court right now.
Boy, Allie Stumler just seeing the game so well in every phase. She's blocked balls, she's served an ace, and just superb on the outside.
Well, and it's just a tough ball to dig. It's a beautiful tip over the top. It's not just high into the court, right over top of the block. It makes it impossible to dig.
Dug by Curry, Stumler again. First contact by Lilly. And by Lilly again, out of necessity. That ball was blocked down. Skylar Fields off the defense again.
Some big digs on both sides of the net and great block touches as well. That's what we're seeing. A lot of good block touches from both sides controlling the ball. It's just a matter of who's going to finish at the end.
Texas certainly had the big advantage in the blocking phase early on, but it's now Kentucky, not only with all those touches, 5 scoring blocks to 4 for Texas. Here is Yosia. A serve. Wow. Serve and receive, kind of important, isn't it? Wow, both teams, yeah.
I mean, by Yosia, this ball barely goes over the top of the tape and just the bottom drops out of it.
2 aces apiece. Quickly off the block and out of bounds. Stumler once again. What a connection there between Madison Lilly, the player of the year, as voted by the American Volleyball Coaches Association, out to number 17, Stumler.
Well, and she's so good when pass to attack. She likes to pass the ball and then swing and attack, and that rhythm is perfect.
Tharp on once again. Kentucky 2 points away from Breon Butler. That was pretty wide open. When you look at Kentucky's offense, even when they're off the net, 3 meters maybe. When you look at Kentucky's offense, even when 3 meters maybe by Madison Lilly. How do they still play so fast?
Well, it's her. It's all her. It's her hands. It's her location, but it's the flight of the ball as well. We can get into that a little bit and how they're handling the pass to Lilly.
Good save on the ball off the top of the tape. Smart shot, reset the point. And Walker again, excuse me. Azani Teeler missing that ball out of bounds. Raya Walker has come on and, as you pointed out, really played some nice volleyball from the service line and defensively. Azani Teeler right back once again. Beautiful delivery one-on-one.
Oh man, it's just a beautiful delivery, like you said, getting her one-on-one.
Set point number 1 for Azani Teeler and Kentucky. Ace serve by Ali Stumler. Stumler closes it out. She's already got a dozen kills, 4 digs, and that was her second service ace. And what a bounce back for the Kentucky Wildcats. Dropping the first set, they win the second 25-18, and now for the national championship, we're playing 2 out of 3.
I'm here with the quarterback of the team, Madison Paige Lilly, who is the National Player of the Year and our Player of the Year and #1 coffee connoisseur. #1 in your heart, #8 on the court, our Brene Brown most inspiration, Zach.
My favorite person to block and steal clothes from, #4, Avery Skinner.
My mini-me and the boba to my tea, #2, Maddie Skinner. Best hair on the team, she brought her bubbles to the bubble, #17, Ali Stumler.
And my girl with the curls, #7, Sophie Fisher. This is your starting middle, Elise Getzinger, aka Melly Mel.
This is Belle Belle, aka Belle Belle.
Introducing that annoying libero that digs everything, Gabby Curry.
Raya Walker.
This is Reagan Rutherford, and she hits harder than a Houston Rocket.
With humor, drier than her hair, starting to yes, Lauren Clark. And this is Maddie Brezowitz, and her GPA is higher than a Johnny's vertical. Introducing starting middle blocker of Johnny Peeler.
And middle blocker, Kendall Paris.
From the window to the wall, to the wall. Z blocks all my balls.
Ken puts up those walls. Ski, ski, let's win.
It's time to meet the Texas Longhorns. You know who I am. From Mo City to Yo City, it's outside hitter Sky Money Fields. Up next, it's our favorite Iowan, Sid the Kid, freaking Pete, defensive specialist Sydney Peterson. Bouncing balls from Kendallton, Texas, making it look easy breezy beautiful, it's middle blocker Breon Butler. Stuffing balls like it's no one's business from Oak Cliff, Texas, it's opposite hitter Molly the Green Giant. Our West Coast killer, scooping balls in the backcourt, it's defensive specialist Nalani Yosia. All the way from the Triple D, it's middle blocker Air Asia O'Neal. You dig her, we dig her, and she digs you. From Tennessee, and the only 10 I see, it's your next president, outside hitter Logan Eggleston. With Glee from Florida, it's Nayway or No Way, setter Naomi Cabello.
Oh, that's so great we got that in. We'd like to thank the video departments at both Texas and Kentucky. Damian Black from Kentucky and Adam Doyle from Texas were both instrumental in providing us with footage and the team lineups that they created on their own. So a big thank you going out to them from the ESPN family as we bring you back into the CHI Health Center in Omaha, Nebraska. There is Jenna Gabriel. And now the question is, Salima, how does Texas turn it around? It's really been back and forth. Texas pretty comfortably won the opening set 25-20. And then Kentucky was in complete control of the second.
Well, I tell you, neither team can take a break and take a rest because this is what we expected. Two of the top teams in the country with two of the best offenses that we have seen all year battling against one another. And right now, it's who's winning the out-of-system game and who's winning that serve-pass game. Serving tough, getting teams off the net, that's been the name of the game right now. And who's going to last those long rallies, that's the difference maker in both sets.
Just as we're getting underway in the third, let's send it over to Holly Rowe.
Well, Craig Skinner, the Kentucky coach, told me before this set tonight that they have got to play consistent volleyball. He said, we can't have 5 good points and let our guard down. They'll have to come back even stronger here in set 3.
Contact by Lily first. Stumler going off speed. Stumler's had a really big match so far, and I think a long way to go, as so has Skylar Fields. Fields now with 10 kills on 20 swings, and on the other side, Allie Stumler, 12 on 26. Very low error rate, Salima.
Yeah, those two can absolutely take over, and right now with Texas having Fields on all of those balls that are just being hit roll shots in the middle of the court, and they have to just set it high, Fields can go up over the top and score right now.
Here is Asia O'Neal, first time through the service rotation in the 3rd set. Stumler again ripping down the line. Let's give you some numbers from the 2nd set. Kentucky out-hit Texas 375 to 241. They sided out at 73% to only 54 for Texas. What fell off for Texas, or what moved up for Stumler and Kentucky?
Well, they started serving a lot tougher, getting aces but getting them off the net, so that helped with keeping the Texas offense from clicking. Wow.
Clicking, ripping.
What was I saying? Wow.
Scott.
Those are the kind of swings that Skylar Fields can take. Those big, wow, over the top, hard down the line.
And speaking of hard, how hard did she work? She was a right-sider last year, and now she has become a very classy left-side attacker. There's Teeler finding a small seam between the aforementioned Skylar Fields and Breon Butler.
And remember, Ajani Teeler, they move her around. They have her in the middle, lined up in the middle. She can hit back twos, front twos, hits a C behind, a high ball behind the setter. So they move her around a lot just to maximize what she can do offensively.
Tight pass. That's going to be a back row blocker by Jenna Gabriel. She's in the back row, and the ball was deflected off her hands in the plane of the net. So immediately a violation.
Yeah, she's a little frustrated with it, but sometimes they don't even know how far they are over the net. As a setter, you feel like you didn't break the plane.
Fields is rejected. Haven't said her name so far a lot. Elise Getzinger, 6'4" freshman out of Blue Mounds, Wisconsin, number 11 in white with the big stuff.
And that's what she's so good at. She can close and get there right on Skylar Fields, exactly where she needs to line up on that high ball over the top of the shoulder. Getzinger does a nice job closing the block.
And Madison Lilly, a very, very athletic 5'11" setter, came through to participate in that stuff block as well. Got a strong piece of it. Quick to the outside, but right there, Phillips is having a, I know it's early. We got a long way to go, but Molly Phillips has been blocking her position and has got 6 kills already on 9 swings.
Yes, she has. I tell you what, but it was, Fields made such a huge play, scrambling, but yes, that block was unbelievable. And she's coming through. They need the right side to be big.
5th block now for Texas.
Yeah. Coach Skinner's not happy when Fields played that ball. He wants that pursuit. See if she crossed over to the other side of the court.
There's an amount extends from the center line all the way over to the scorer's table, and the ball has to be completely on your side in order to play it legally. Getzinger on the slide once again.
I like that Getzingers getting involved in this. They need a little bit more. They need everybody to be involved in the game, and when they can pass and get Getzinger that ball to attack down the line around Eggleston, she's going to have some success.
Once again, Molly Phillips, 6'5" sophomore out of Mansfield, Texas, and just putting one ball after another down to the floor. And Jenna Gabriel's doing a really good job. Look at the seam in this block.
She is. I mean, the ball's pushed forward a little bit. They have to wait. Getzinger has to hold for Butler, of course. You can't let her go 1-on-none.
Rhythm to the outside. Boy, no wonder why. It might have taken a while through the first set, but now the Avery sisters, along with others, Azani Teeler, and of course at the controls, Madison Lilly. Best offense in the country.
Well, it's just efficient. It's smooth. There's a rhythm to it. You just like to watch it, and they can get on it high and fast.
Tough serve down the line and a better pass. And the high tap down, a slam dink that her father would be very proud of by Asia O'Neal. Jermaine's up there somewhere. 6 times an All-Star going, yep, there we are. There's Jermaine. Played for the Portland Trail Blazers. I mentioned an All-Star 6 times. Spent a lot of years with the Indiana Pacers as well. 19 seasons in total.
He's sitting there calmly, seeing if they were going to show it up on the overhead. He's always so calm. I'm so impressed.
Tied at 1 set apiece for the 2020. I know the calendar says 21, but this is the 2020 National Championship. Throwing back, throwing down, and this time beautifully off the edge of the block. Smart play by number 33 in burnt orange, Eggleston.
I tell you, I'm so impressed with O'Neal going pin to pin to pin, getting touches, deflections, creating all of that, allowing that to happen, and Eggleston tooling off the edge of the block to finish.
And another ace. Boy, both teams are dialing up some aces. Allie Stumler closed out the second set. 3 aces now for Stumler in Kentucky, and that's 3 for Texas.
I'll tell you, both teams, both coaches are happy with what their teams have been doing serving-wise. Tough serving teams, and now you're seeing as they settled into the match, they can really let it loose.
Stumler, another perfect pass, and then quickly to the outside.
So fast, gets on it so quickly, like you said, and she can hit over the top. You don't have to hit this clean down the line to hit over and around Gabriel there. Beautiful set by Lily. She gets it just on the outside of O'Neal for the point.
Stumler now with 14 kills. Eggleston trying to come right back. Nice play defensively, once again by Lily. O'Neal, what a play by Curry after the block touch. Tied at 7. Stumler again over the top.
What a rally, but can you believe that stab by Gabby Curry? She's in the left back. Are you kidding me right now? I don't know how she made that play. Change directions, and the finish by Stumler.
Father Buddy was all NFL a couple of times for the Atlanta Falcons. Down the line, no defense for that one. Eggleston found a little space, and even Madison Lilly couldn't come up with that.
Well, that's that delivery, that fastball. You saw they've sped it up just a little bit, maybe a little too much at times. They're trying to find that rhythm, get it a little bit faster to the pins because they know they can score down the line with that ball.
Texas with a big opening set overall. I mean, offensively, they're hitting 338, but now Kentucky's really coming on, hitting just under 300. Azani Taylor, nobody home.
Well, and you look at what happens here, looking at another switch block. How smart is this by the side of Kentucky? Jenna Gabriel's caught in the middle because they wanted some bigger size on the outside. 2 ball in the middle of the court to Taylor with nobody home.
What a good read by Lily. That's trouble. Stumler ripping and getting a little bit lucky, but Allie Stumler, the first team All-American, now has 16 kills on 33 swings.
And she has no fear. I am telling you, she is just blasting at the block. She's being smart with shots, but man, when she sees it and she wants to go hands, she's just going after it right now.
And she has worked so hard to get stronger and stronger because she's got high, hard heat right now for Kentucky. Serve is missed from the back line. Lauren Tharp, we talked about it, Salima, that they're going to be some misses because you've got to take chances.
You do. I mean, we're in this set. It's close. It's 9-10 early on, but you have to. They have to continue to push each other. You see how efficient both teams' offenses are right now. They have to force them off the net.
Only the 3rd service error for Kentucky. Texas has 5. Lily with the tip. Good reaction by Eggleston. Stumbler again. Net violation during the course of the rally when Madison Lilly went up to jump set that ball. Drew.
Look at that. Look at that move. She looks it because sometimes she turns and hits it. She'll do that. She's sneaky. A beautiful play. Gets Butler to hold for just a second.
You saw the net violation. It was Breon Butler when she came down to try to get back outside. Short serve. Barely kept off the floor. Skylar Fields. Allie Stumler's leading the way, but Skylar Fields is right there as well now with 12 kills. Eggleston has 8. Molly Phillips has 7.
I tell you, they're lucky they have Fields out there on these serves. These short serves are disrupting the Texas pass, the offense, but she's out there cleaning up all the garbage right now.
Gabriel with the chase. Fields again. Wow, what a reaction that time by O'Brien. And keeping the ball off the floor. Breon Butler jumped, and it fooled everybody except O'Brien, but Texas still couldn't quite track it down.
I don't even know where to start with this play. Oh, O'Brien stayed with it, and it was a great hustle. Nice job by Teeler throwing that ball to the middle of the court. But what a dig by Curry. Look at her laying out.
Gabby Curry with 8 digs. Madison Lilly already has 10. Phillips looking for a piece of the block and gets it. Very smart shot. Is this the most productive you've seen Molly Phillips within this offense?
It is. It absolutely is. And she has the ability to hit a variety of shots. And Coach Elliott says she's got such a high volleyball IQ. She knows where the block is. She knows where to put it. Whenever the set is inside, when it's too tight, she knows what to do with the ball.
Kentucky leading by 1. Phillips now 7 of 11. Good touch by Breon Butler. That's a wonderful play and reaction. Talk about being smart in the middle. Breon Butler.
That is not easy to do. It's a ball that's coming over the net. No one's expecting it. Great save here, but look at this play by O'Brien. High set to Eggleston, who could still get a kill with that ball coming over, blind over her shoulder.
Breon Butler leads the entire country in total blocks. He's had a magnificent first-team All-American season. Stumbler out of the back row. That's the way to use your head off the deflection. I don't know if Logan Eggleston got a facial or got beamed, but it doesn't matter. It still goes down as a dig.
Oh, she did, and then she screamed up, 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 and got up. Oh, who does that? My goodness. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it was a self-administered facial in terms of your own team, but the ball is up, and that came up pretty clean. Texas now with the advantage. Block deflection there. And on Logan Eggleston, we were there to call it. Do you remember a match a couple of years ago at Gregory Gym, the wonderful home court for the Texas Longhorns? She was chasing a ball, dove after it.
Oh.
And as she's bleeding all over the place, she comes running back into the play. Yep. She didn't even know what had happened.
Nope, didn't even feel it. Like, you have to get off the court now.
They bandaged her up and put her back in the match.
Yep.
Dug by Curry, transition opportunity off the edge of the block and out of bounds. Avery Skinner, once again, who has completely recovered from a pretty slow start, now with 9 kills. Taking a number of swings to get there.
I tell you, it's the player behind her, Gabby Curry, just making everything happen, just playing unbelievable defense right now, digging everything.
Free ball for the Wildcats. Whip down the line. Maddie Skinner with the kill. Kentucky back on top by 2. We'll take our media timeout. The Wildcats on top 15-13. The National Collegiate Beach Volleyball Championship from Gulf Shores, Alabama begins Friday, May 7th at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on ESPNU. For more information on the NCAA Beach Volleyball Championship, visit ncaa.com. Your home for all 90 NCAA championships, and the NBA coming your way. Sunday, we got a doubleheader for you on ESPN. Features a couple of teams looking to lock up a playoff spot. 1 Eastern Time, it's the Celtics and the Hornets, and 3 Eastern Time, it's the Suns and the Nets. Coverage begins with NBA Countdown at noon. That game's at 1 and 3:30 Eastern on ESPN and the ESPN app. Overpass, slam dunk, nice cover by Yosia. Good swing off the edge. Does Jenna Gabriel need to reestablish her middles, most notably Breon Butler?
Well, I think if she has the opportunity, but this is where Kentucky has been so good in the serving phase and getting them a little bit, even when they're off the net, they're hitting the ball at Gabriel, so they can't run the middle. So there's a lot of strategy here going on right now that's keeping one another from doing what they really want to do.
O'Brien with a service error. That gets the Kentucky Wildcats, for the 4th straight year, the SEC champions, back to a 2-point advantage. Defensive specialists have been really important. Sarasota, Florida's Raya Walker on. 5'10" freshman. Tough serve, floats. We're sitting in the end zone, not our traditional spot, but we're dealing with, of course, COVID, and you and I, and as much as we don't want to be 6 feet apart, that's the way it rolls this year, and we're just fine with that. These teams have had to go through so much to stay healthy, to be responsible, not only as an athlete, but as a citizen and a teammate, both on and off the court, and it's been really a remarkable accomplishment for all of these teams that advanced into this 48-team field. That ball is ripped. Maddie Skinner, the young freshman, just dialing it up. How many great freshmen have we seen in this year's tournament?
Oh, so many great freshmen on almost every team we've come across. There's been one freshman that's been incredible. So many good young players in the country.
Skinner now hitting for a remarkable percentage. I'll give that to you in just a second. Nice play by Gabriel. Gabriel's only 5'8". She was so stoked the other night. She had 42 assists. She won a joust, although she was called for a net, and she was credited with 1 stuffed block, and that's about as fired up as she's ever going to get.
I tell you, she's so good around the net, though. She gets up. She likes to attack the ball. She's excellent with joust. She can actually slow balls down at the net as a blocker.
Skinner, as I mentioned, 11 of 18. Boy, Kentucky is passing lights out right now. Look at that shot. Off the edge of the block and out of bounds. 12 of 19. Maddie Skinner is hitting almost 600.
You know, we talked to Madison Lilly a while ago, and she said, sometimes I just ride. I ride hands. I ride the hot hand. And Coach Skinner lets her go and do it. What's working right now? Who's playing well? Who's feeling it? And she just streaks them for a while.
Maddie Skinner, 2 of 6 in the opening set. In the second set and on since then, 10 of 13. Oh, what a block.
I mean, that is what a setter wants to do. But look how big Madison Lilly plays above the net. Huge drop on Skylar Fields.
Big read, stuff block, forces a timeout to be called by Texas. Let's send it back over to Holly.
Well, you guys are saying the name Skinner an awful lot, whether it's Avery or Maddie. They are holding their own. This family's been special for Kentucky this year.
We come from an athletic family, and that's something that has been a part of our lives forever. Literally any game that we're playing. We play a lot of board games, card games, so that gets super intense.
That definitely was tough, just always being kind of in her shadow growing up.
First, my thought process was, I'm not going to Kentucky. I wanted Maddie to make whatever decision she felt was best for her, and so obviously I was a little biased because I was here.
We wanted Maddie for Maddie, and that's the biggest reason that we went after her, and thankfully it worked out, and the bonus, I think, is the sister thing.
She came in and she's made such an impact, and I can look at her and she can look at me on the court, and we have confidence in each other that we're going to take care of our business.
I just feel like Skinner's a successful name. We have Craig, he has a lot of wins. We have A's, she's been super successful, and hopefully I'll be next.
They are not related to Craig Skinner, but they are a real family here for Big Blue Nation, and both sisters have been terrific so far tonight, Paul.
They have indeed, Holly. Looking at the numbers, I mean, Maddie Skinner, again, off to a little bit of a slow start in the opening set, but just lighten it up since then. 12 of 19. Avery Skinner, 9 of 28. I mean, that's a pretty good pair to have on the wings for head coach Craig Skinner now in his 16th year. Kentucky on top. We're tied at a set apiece, 19-16 here so far in the third. The cumulative numbers between the two Skinners, That's a lot of production and a lot of efficiency.
It's a ton, and like you said, I mean, the sister thing is a bonus. You want each one of those players individually, but it's nice that they were able to play together.
Well, and play together. They might do it again because of COVID, this year doesn't count for anybody. Avery Skinner is officially a senior, but everybody gets an additional year. She could come back. They could play together next year.
They do indeed. We shall see what happens.
Coming out of the timeout, Texas, much in need of a solid pass. That part of the mission was accomplished. Nicely done by Peterson in the backcourt.
When you saw that time, Kentucky sent 2 with O'Neal on that pass. Passes shaded a little bit to the right side, so they read it a little bit, but sent 2, and she still was able to hit around it.
Teeler again finding a spot. Peterson after the good pass, another good dig. Teeler again taking no prisoners. What a good swing by Stumler. That ball was dying inside and she still made a play on it.
I tell you, Kentucky is just teeing off right now. Every ball set behind is getting a one-on-one or a split opportunity. Texas doing a nice job playing defense, but Kentucky, the aggressor right now at the net.
That play didn't look like it developed very cleanly, but Breon Butler will take that in the kill. Kentucky seems to be passing perfectly right now. We always knew that might happen, but is Texas serving dropped?
You know, that's a good question. Texas serving looks like it's still pretty good. I mean, Gabby Curry passed one a few moments ago, but kind of behind her head, and it went straight to the target. I think they're just super dialed in right now, no matter where the ball's coming.
I agree with that completely. That was pretty much average past the... Oh, wow! Nothing average about that. Roofed on the outside is Teeler. She's saying the ball was out of bounds. Well, it almost landed underneath you. This is straight down by Fields.
Completely surrounded. She almost didn't even get a chance to swing at it. That's what you want to teach your blockers. Get over, lock out before they even contact the ball. Picture perfect move by Skylar Fields.
First contact by Lilly. And just out of bounds. That ball missed long, but a touch was detected. We might have a challenge. Coach Elliott is looking at his players. Did anybody touch it? He thought about going over to the challenge card and decided better.
Yeah, Butler shook her head. She said, I got it. She said, don't challenge. Let's not waste one if we're going to lose it.
21-19 is the lead for Kentucky in a wonderful rhythm, particularly in receiving. Fields again. Wow. Skylar Fields just having a tremendous tournament.
I mean, that's it. You need a side out right now. Crucial point in the match. You've got to give the ball to Fields.
Fields gives way in the backcourt to the very productive freshman, Nalani Yosia, the 5'8" freshman out of Southern California, who's really been key. Over 30 digs and 14 assists in transition so far in the tournament. Getzinger able to tuck that ball down inside.
Tell you what, they don't set her very often. When they set her, she is efficient. She can take care of the ball, and she can put it in the right spot.
Getzinger now 3 of 5. Kentucky's hitting .410 in this set. What an offensive explosion at .410. Texas is hitting .387. They trail by 2. Once again, Skinner through the block and down. Maddie Skinner with the kill. And now Kentucky 2 points away from taking the lead.
And this is exactly what Kentucky wanted to do. All they wanted to do was touch and slow down Butler in the middle of the court. See, Getzinger does a nice job. Don't need a stuff block. Touch it, make it slow enough for someone else to play defense. And I tell you what, Maddie Skinner doing an unbelievable job for Kentucky.
And Madison Lilly is digging balls in the right back. That's her 11th. For the 42nd straight year, the NFL Draft is on ESPN. You can also watch it on NFL Network, and the Game Day crew will cover it from the college perspective over on ABC. Round 1 begins Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Time on ESPN, Deportes, and ESPN Radio, and the ESPN app. Let's go back to Holly Rowe quickly.
Well, it's kind of cool because we've seen Gabby Curry, the libero for Kentucky, making plays all over the court tonight. Well, her brother has an opportunity to get drafted in that NFL draft. Think about that family dynamic. He was the leading tackler, David Curry, for Georgia Tech football as a linebacker this year, and some people think he could go in the late rounds of the NFL draft. So a very big week for the Curry family. A national championship on the line and a promise of an NFL future.
Holly, I was doing some reading on David Curry, and the NFL draft experts say he's a passionate player who secures and is the pulse of our defense, kind of like his sister as well for Kentucky. Hitting percentage by set. The first set was won by Texas 25-20, 375 and 425 currently in the third. Kentucky leading it 23-20.
I mean, that tells the story. Progressively getting better, less errors, and being smarter with the ball, but it's the ball handling that's doing it, and they're just not making as many errors right now.
Here is Lily. Oh, beautiful clutch swing by Eggleston.
Well, Texas just battling here. They can absolutely come back in this tight set. Better pass, getting the ball out to Eggleston. You know she's going to come through for you, hitting that ball deep into the court.
Texas has not blocked a ball in a while. They're going to get a chance here in transition. Look at Lily. How did she read that play off the block short? Eggleston comes through back-to-back kills, and Texas back within one. Texas in a while. They're going to get a chance here in transition. Look at Lily. How did she read that play off the block short? Eggleston comes through back-to-back kills, and Texas back within one.
Texas doing a nice job, smart with where they're going with the ball. But I tell you, that's a nice play by Madison Lilly there in the defensively, but Texas on a roll here.
Timeout called by Kentucky. It was 23-20 when Jared Elliott called his team over. Now Craig Skinner, the National Coach of the Year, calling a timeout to settle his Wildcats. And Skylar Fields, once again, 6'2" sophomore out of Missouri City, Texas. It's just been tremendous offense, but Fields has been really solid.
Well, and it's what she can do off the net and on the net. That's what's so good about Skylar Fields. She gets her feet to the ball. This is what I think is so impressive. She's always lined up in the right spot. That ball is always on her hitting arm, and so she can hit so powerfully and at the top of her reach. That's what makes Skylar Fields so good.
Skylar Fields, 13 kills on 30 swings, hitting 300, a couple of digs, a couple of blocks as well. And Logan Eggleston always takes a lot of really tough swings. She's taken 28 swings so far in the night. No errors, 13 kills.
Well, Logan Eggleston is on the court all the time. They can't take her off. She's 6 rotations, passes, blocks, does everything for this team. She really is the heart and soul of this Texas team, coming through with every shot in the book. I mean, that's Logan Eggleston. That's why she's a first-team All-American.
And the Big 12 Player of the Year, saw not only some kills, but also 3 digs and a couple of stuffed blocks, having a tremendous national championship match so far. For more on Eggleston, let's go over to Holly once again.
Well, guys, the thing I love about Logan Eggleston is when she's out on the court, you trust her. She's so calm. She is the captain of this team, and they follow her lead. When she is composed and confident, everybody else tends to follow along. And I just like her demeanor. She has been such an important piece of this Texas success this season.
Jared Elliott saying that this is the tightest, the best culture that he's ever had at Texas, and one of the reasons why is Logan Eggleston as one of the captains along with Molly Phillips. Where do you expect this ball to go, Salima?
I'm setting Maddie Skinner right now.
Wow, a huge break coming out of the timeout. That's a pressure situation, but you cannot miss in that particular circumstance.
Yeah, that's tough.
Set points now for Kentucky to take the 2-1 advantage. Walker, remember, already had a couple of aces in the semifinal against Washington. Eggleston coming right back under pressure. Perfect delivery on the perimeter.
Oh, man. The ball was perfect, but Eggleston got up a couple other inches on this ball right here. She wanted the set. She told her setter to set me the ball right now, and she elevated over the top.
Now the pressure goes to last year's libero, now a DS, Sydney Peterson out of Dike, Iowa. O'Brien missed before her. Set point number 2 for Kentucky. High flat shot once again by Maddie Skinner. And Kentucky dropped the opening set 25-20. But since then, they have won 2 straight. They win the third 25-23. One more set, and they'll have their first national championship. Back live in Omaha, Nebraska, as ESPN proudly presents the 40th NCAA Volleyball Championship match. Kentucky, first time they've ever gone this far. Florida twice before, 2003, lost to USC, 2017, lost to Nebraska. What will be the fate of Kentucky? The SEC, the only one of 21 championships competed in the SEC. This is the only championship the SEC has not won. Back with 3-time All-American at Penn State. Knows a little bit about winning championships. Salima Rockwell and Paul Sunderland. Biggest difference in the match so far in the turnaround for Kentucky, albeit that set was very close. It was Kentucky with the advantage until that late run.
It was. The advantage was the serve pass game. You know, you hear it all the time, but really Kentucky stepped up their serving game, got Texas in a little bit of trouble towards that middle part of the set, and that's why they were able to take a little bit of a lead. And their passing is flawless right now. I'd love to have the passing numbers. I'm sure someone's going to text me those in a minute. But
please tell them to hurry.
They are passing so well right now.
You have sources. You have sources everywhere.
Come on, get with it, people.
Big lineup coming your way on Sunday on ESPN. 3:30 Eastern Time in the NBA. The Suns in the net. 7 Eastern Time. Sunday Night Baseball. Padres and Dodgers. The lineup Sunday at 3:30 and 7 Eastern Time on ESPN and the ESPN app. Yosia will serve to start the 4th set. Skinner off speed, super smart by number 4 in white.
And I tell you, that's not just smart, that's a nice roll shot at a high contact for it. It's not just an easy down ball to the middle of the court. Contacts it at the top of her reach in front of Eggleston.
Allie Stumler with 18 kills, Maddie Skinner with 14. That was 11 for Avery, the senior sister. That ball served just out of bounds. For Texas, you look at their leader, Skylar Fields has been tremendous, along with Logan Eggleston. The middles in the semifinal against Wisconsin were dominant. Isn't that where Texas needs to go?
They do. If they can get that ball, fling it in there to the middle, and they have an opportunity, they can score. They hit over 600 as a group in that match that you're talking about, Paul.
That ball missed out of bounds. Wisconsin was the #1 overall seed, and coming into that semifinal, Texas hit 301. Asia O'Neal was 11 of 18, no errors. Breon Butler was 11 of 16 with 1 error, and that was in 3 sets. I'll give you their numbers in just a moment. Another perfect pass. Good block. That ball should come up. That was a good high swing by Maddie Skinner, and a rare ball handling and defensive mistake by Kentucky.
Yeah, maybe a little bit of confusion on whose responsibility that was. Everyone's kind of covering short. Sometimes that happens. You need to keep that one off player covering that deep ball. Nice job by Phillips there at the net.
Yosia, that ball was left way inside. Good smart shot up into the block, reset the point. Skinner again, not in a good spot. So a couple of unforced errors. I haven't seen that from Kentucky at all. They're about as clean as any team in the country. Talked about O'Neal along with Breon Butler. Asia O'Neal 5 of 15, Breon Butler 5 of 10. Phillips is really doing a good job blocking on the outside. You'll see all over that transition opportunity. Eggleston hammering into the cross court. Very quick start and bounce back for Texas, leading 5-1.
Tell you what, they're playing some excellent defense. It's anchored by Molly Phillips on the right side of the court right now, controlling the ball, stuffing some balls. You'll see him making big plays, and then they're running the offense again a little bit faster to Eggleston on the outside so she can beat that block.
You surprised Craig Skinner hasn't called a timeout yet? Maybe here. Luckily off the top of the tape and down. And Morgan O'Brien is going, where was that serve? There's the timeout. Texas looking to even this match at 2 sets apiece. Out to a quick start here in the 4th.
One quarterback can reshape the narrative. One quarterback class can reshape the league. NFL Draft begins Thursday on ESPN and ABC.
You got no chance in the NFL these days without a star at the quarterback position. Is there a star in the making? Well, we'll find out if the Jaguars will strike it rich with Trevor Lawrence. I'd say his pedigree speaks pretty strongly of that. Coming out of the timeout, here's O'Brien again. Texas on top, 6-1. I'll tell you, Molly Phillips with a really good block touch. That's just better offense out of the Skinners.
Well, she's done such a nice job so far at the start of this match. It's all her that's made this happen, but Avery Skinner taking a nice rip off the top.
Molly Phillips, 7 kills on 13 swings, 3 blocks. 6-2. Eggleston again, one high flat shot right back at you. How hard is it to train young players to develop that shot?
It's very difficult, and you see it every day in the gym. Coaches will hold up these block it things with these big boards and try to teach players to hit that high hand, but it's difficult to see. You have to see the block and aim for it, but it takes a long time to get that shot.
Eggleston's hitting .500, 16 of 32, no errors. Rip again, dug by Yosia. You heard the whistle. Net violation called against Texas. Stumler will be credited with the kill, her 19th.
She unloaded on that ball again. But you see it with a nice dig. An unfortunate net on the side of Texas.
Dug by Curry. What a rip by Eggleston. Off the edge of the block. Stumler in transition. Gabby Curry just hanging in and digging heat.
Tell you what, she sits in that angle and she waits for it. She wants this ball to come to her, but look at the touch. Look at the quality of this touch. The ball is up and down, and Madison Lilly can set her offense. That's the key.
11th dig for Curry. Lilly all over the off speed. Again, nice dig by O'Brien. Quickly to the outside. Did you see that set by Asia O'Neal out of the middle?
It was so clean. I held my breath and it was beautiful.
That might have been the most important contact of the entire play.
Absolutely. And look at this fastball coming all the way out to the pin. Logan Eggleston. I like the speed. I like that they've sped it up a little bit here.
Tough serve, well handled. Off speed. Allie Stumler is having a tremendous match. Again, one of the best all-around players in the entire country, only a junior. That's 21 kills on 41 swings. Kentucky has yet to produce an Olympian. I think that's going to change.
Yeah.
Good block by Stumler, and right back to you. Allie Stumler, perfect example of playing both ends.
Well, that's exactly what she does well. And this ball, you'll see Asia O'Neal gets stuck a little bit hitting that slide, tries to get back here in the middle, late to close, unable to get up, and Stumler takes advantage of it.
5-2 run now for Kentucky to get right back at least in contact with the Longhorns. Fields right on the end line. Wow. Really good disciplined shot.
Really was. She had to take that kind of from her neck and chop that ball just to that deep area of the court. It's a nice shot. She didn't miss.
That felt like a really important side-out score. Kentucky was starting to get some momentum. Teeler away from Eggleston, couldn't track that one down.
Again, Teeler elevating over the top of the block. Kentucky's pass just really coming on strong again, so they can run anything they want, middle or outside.
Stumler for Kentucky. Eggleston ripping the pipe. Perfect execution of the back row attack.
Oh, man. And you ask yourself, why no block in the middle of this court? It's because Teeler takes a move to the outside, and Eggleston comes in there. Basically one on none with the kill.
Has Texas found something with that play out of the back row? We haven't seen it all that much. A couple of times out of necessity.
They have it, and it's in there, but they haven't used it a lot lately. Probably saving. Wow.
Saving someone's life, Breon Butler. Got to get it in the middle. This is a great choice by Gabriel.
Look at this, high, fast. Look at that cut around the block. Butler is not messing around right now.
11-7 is the advantage now. Gabriel back to serve. It's the 11th total attempt for Breon Butler. Teeler, wow, tucking that ball down inside. Sharp angle.
Not easy to do with that huge block. You saw Butler and Fields getting hip to hip there. Huge block, and Teeler hits underneath it.
Ajani Teeler is a special talent and a special person. Her teammates just completely rally around her because they know at 5'10", playing her position, how difficult it is. That ball set too low. Phillips one-on-one right side. Good block deflection by Getzinger out of the middle. A joust at the net, won by Kentucky.
You said it early in the rally, the touch by Getzinger, slowing that ball down. Phillips has been so good being able to score on that right side. A nice job keeping their team in it.
Texas is out hitting Kentucky right now, 375 to 286 in the set, but the lead is only 2. Tough swing for Fields. And into the block that time, Madison Lilly able to get the stuff.
Kentucky doing a nice job when that ball is off the net, getting their block set and sealed on those high out of system plays.
Kentucky trailed 6-1. Timeout called. Texas went back on top 11-7. And that is really, really a big break for Texas, as Yosia will go back to serve. Stumler has been so consistent. 6 kills in each of the first 3 sets, already with 4 here in the 4th. Dig by O'Brien, right on target. And a better swing. Wow. O'Brien was there, but it was right in the deep cross-court corner. Once again by number 4 in white, Avery Skinner.
I tell you, that swing in the last match wasn't there when it was out of system this high and off the net. Avery Skinner now going high and deep into the court. Super high and deep. Look at that move by O'Brien trying to make that play.
13 kills now for the older Avery Skinner. Madison Lilly is digging everything in the right back. Not that time. Yeah, you better hit away from her, but then you got to go to Gabby Curry.
So you got to move it around at some point. But I tell you what a fast transition play. That's what Texas wants to do. They need to control the ball, get it right there in Gabriel's hands so she can get Butler the ball in the middle of the court.
Breon Butler, wonderful percentage, 7 of 13 so far. Ripped down the line. Look at the pace of that offense. Madison Lilly, I'll tell you what, she's the best setter I've seen at the collegiate level since Micah Hancock or Lauren Carlini.
She's so good. It's that touch, that release, the ball that just sits there. But look at Maddie Skinner. I mean, that is just a beautiful display of volleyball.
1 point lead for Texas. And missed just out of bounds. Tied at 13. Remember, Kentucky trailed 6-1 to open this 4th set. They lead it 2-1. O'Neal is dug. Phillips again, no going to Eggleston, and missed it out of bounds.
Well, nice run by Texas. They got the middle involved, but Kentucky doing a fantastic job. Curry now in the middle back.
A little surprised by no timeout here. Texas still has 2 remaining. They gave up a 6-2 run and now a 7-2 run. Curry again to Stumler. Kentucky is touching everything right now in the block phase. And again, but that just too good from Asia O'Neal. How hard did number 7 in burnt orange have to work during that rally?
I get caught watching her, and she just moves so well and works so hard to get from pin to pin. Looks like we might have a challenge here.
And remember, Asia O'Neal, you saw her breathing hard. And remember, Holly Rowe told the story the other night. Remember, Asia O'Neal has not had 1 but 2 open heart surgeries, the last as recently as last January of 2020. She had a leaking valve, and she had the surgery as a child. And then as she grew, the leak became a problem again, and then she had to go in for surgery. Holly, was just an amazing, amazing story of determination and strength to come back and play at this level. Net violation on Texas is being challenged. Have had very, very few challenges. There was some controversy, as I mentioned earlier on, and I think the challenge system, let's take a look at this one. Vitally important, of course. Just because the net is bouncing, that doesn't mean there's been some contact with it. There are players bouncing around, and the net standards do indeed vibrate. But I just want to finish the point. I love the challenge system. I think it's been great for the game, but I think we have enough body of evidence now. The sample size is large enough that there need to be some adjustments.
Yeah, I would agree with you. We'll see if we can see anything there. Do you see that left arm?
Yeah,
there's
there's a micro touch, I think, by number 33 Eggleston. You see the white portion of the Texas jerseys, but I do think that there was some contact there. But again, it has to be irrefutable. Yeah, net violation on number 33. Kentucky leads 15-14. Huge call.
Like you said, these have been some major calls at crucial times in this tournament with the challenges.
Walker will serve. Kentucky has come all the way back again, trailing big early and trailed by 11-7. They've gone on a couple of big runs against Texas. Beautiful offense, wonderful timing in it. Salima, you've been on the rules committee. Just quickly, what changes would you like to see?
Well, it would be good to see if you are right on a challenge and you could keep it. So in some capacity, early on, it was just, you didn't know how long it was going to take, all the challenges, and you couldn't just throw out a million different challenges. Now we've got it down. It's taking a lot less time. I think you can do it.
Out of system play here, and Maddie Skinner Somehow able to tuck that ball down inside. I agree. I think you should get one challenge per set. If you're right, you keep it. So you kind of just have an infinite number, but it doesn't carry over, just one per set.
That makes sense. That makes sense to me.
You said I made sense?
I mean, sometimes you do.
Okay, all right. Here's Curry. 16-14 is the advantage. Oh, that ball might have been out. Tough play for Eggleston. She got stuck down underneath the block. Eggleston able to somehow throw that ball down inside. Well, that's a smart play. Smart play.
It is. She's battling up there. Some tight sets. She's transitioning off the net. Has to work really hard to get off the net. But look at this ball. Just throws it. Like you say, kind of tucks it down in front of the block.
Eggleston with 19 kills. Stumler leading the match with 22. Eggleston has a lot of aces this year. It'd be a pretty good time. Perfect dig. Fields missed it out of bounds. Wow, what a dig by Eggleston.
Well, it was a nice read. She went behind Jenna Gabriel knowing they want to go over the top of her, so shaded defensively with a quality touch. Just a rare miss by Fields on the left.
17-15. Texas has won 2 national championships in 2012 most recently, and back in 1988. This is the first ever championship match for Kentucky. Fields comes right back. How tough is this sophomore out of Missouri City, Texas?
I mean, I tell you what, you just look at her. She wants to play at this level. She wants the ball in crucial moments. She doesn't care if she makes an error. She wants the next one. I mean, that's what makes Skylar Fields so special.
The third set was 25-23, and here we are once again, a nail-biter, 17-16. Stumler, wow. Wow, Allie Stumler just unloading, and that was against Breon Butler on a broken play. Butler was in a pretty good spot.
I tell you what, she takes this hard cut under the block. Actually kind of in between the block there. Big swings by Allie Stumler.
Out of the back row, right back at you. Had that huge uncontested pipe earlier on, and Texas has found a way to score some easier points.
Well, in those 2-hitter rotations, when they're not passing well, they're fortunate to have Logan Eggleston in that 2 position, so she's in the back row and is available to attack out of the back row.
Pretty easy serve by Gabriel, but barely kept off the floor. Texas looking for the tie. Fields is skying for kills.
Skylar Fields just going up over the top, but look at that beautifully executed set by Gabriel.
Tied at 18. Skylar Fields again, but outside the antenna. Wow, that was a tough chance.
It was, and it's what you need to do. I mean, it's an unbelievable play by O'Brien laying out for it. Eggleston lays it up there.
What a defensive battle. 50 digs for Kentucky, 46 for Texas.
They're either going to Butler or Fields again.
Butler, a little bit of paintbrush. Nice artistic touch there, right to the floor. If it works, yeah.
That's right. And even if that connection isn't there, Butler's so high over the top, she can reach and put the ball down.
Eighth kill for Butler on 14 swings. You'll see has been really good serving and defensively, rattling that ball right through the block. Tell you, no wonder the number is when Kentucky is in system, they hit 560.
I mean, they just hold the block so well. Lily is up there. She's in a balanced position. It's hard to read where she's going to go. You just have to wait and see where it goes.
Into the block, stuffed on Breon Butler. Texas now trailing 21-19 in a must-win situation. Timeout called by Texas. Kentucky 4 points away from their first ever national title. It was a long and challenging journey, but that is the prize for the 2020 National Championship. Let's take a look now at the Capital One Cup standings as teams compete for a combined $400,000 in student athlete scholarships. From Capital One, Alabama, Baylor won the men's national championship in basketball. Iowa, Ohio State, UCLA coming in at number 10. And on the women's side, Stanford on top. Arizona, the Wildcats, getting back into the national championship. 21-19. Texas. Look at the last play in the stuff.
And the dive by Getzinger, just waiting for Butler to hit it. Dives into that angle. Huge play right before the timeout.
Texas has won twice before, the last in 2012. Perfect pass. Nice play. Must-win situation for Texas. They got to win this set. Molly Phillips has been huge throughout the course of this match. 8 kills on 17 swings.
I like that run, and I like that call out of the timeout. That you haven't seen her a little bit in the last few plays, but she's been playing really well and scoring in that rotation.
O'Brien has been error-prone from the service line. Good one there. Oh, a break for Texas. Logan Eggleston just skying on a set that was too tight.
Did a nice job, and I tell you, O'Neal was on the ground for a minute. Hit the floor, came back, got up, and made that play to finish for Texas. Well, that was an unbelievable move by her.
Tied now at 21. To the outside again. Number 2, Maddie Skinner registering the kill after another perfect delivery on the outside by Madison Lilly.
I mean, she's fortunate to have her there. I mean, it's unbelievable just how that ball sits up there perfectly, but Maddie Skinner is playing at such a high level. It's just hard to believe she's a freshman.
Through the hands, an ace serve. Nalani Yosia, the freshman out of Torrance, has been rock solid in the backcourt, and now Texas has to burn their second and final timeout.
What a serve by Walker. This is a rare serve-receive error by Yosia. I tell you, Walker's been doing a fine job at the service line.
A really tough serve, and the mishandle could not have come at a worse time for Texas. Kentucky 3 points away. Sunday's NBA doubleheader on ESPN features a couple of teams looking to lock in their playoff spot. Eastern time at 1 o'clock. Celtics versus the Hornets, 3:30 Eastern time. The Suns versus the Nets. The coverage begins with NBA Countdown at noon. Then games at 1 and 3:30 Eastern time on ESPN and the ESPN app. Allie Stumler manning the backcourt. She's got a couple of aces, 24 kills, 5 digs, a block. And that pair of aces has been absolutely, there she is at the back of the huddle, just tremendous all tournament long and especially all night long in this championship match.
Well, and they're using her more now out of the back row, but I tell you what I love about her is she is just absolutely fearless. She sees the big block in front of her. She doesn't care, but she's quick. She gets off the ground fast, has great vision, and is leading this team. I mean, Allie Stumler is playing at a ridiculous level of volleyball.
Salima, right before first serve, I asked you, as someone who's played in this match, what does it take to give your best when your very best is needed? Well, Allie Stumler's doing it. A season high 24 kills against Texas. 23-21. Raya Walker will go back to serve. O'Neal, good block touch. A little bit tight. Did Eggleston touch that ball? Kentucky's complaining on the sideline. Stumler off speed again. Both teams scrambling, flying around the court. Championship points now for the Kentucky Wildcats. Kentucky has been climbing this mountain for years, and now they're facing the biggest opportunity of their volleyball careers. Phillips blocked Yosia. Texas scrambling, finding a way. Yosia on her back, keeping that ball alive. One championship point saved.
What a play by Yosia, keeping that ball alive. There's a blocking sub here now. Cabello is back in.
Take me through up front the choices for Madison Lilly. You've got Stumler on the outside. Take me through your choices if you were setting this match.
Well, you've got Stumler, I believe, and Maddie Skinner. I mean, shoot, I'm going either pin right now. I tell you what, they're both equally effective. We look at the block on the other side of the net, maybe coming out to the outside because Stumler's just been hot right now.
Pressure on Peterson, got to serve in. Stumler out of system for the championship. Allie Stumler leads Kentucky to their first ever title, having the career match of her life. The quality of play throughout this tournament, Salima, was just tremendous. And what a contest, and what a how apropos for Allie Stumler to put that ball away. Out of system, good serve. She takes a tough swing against one of the biggest and best blocking teams in the country and just annihilates it into the cross court for her 26th kill and the first national championship for Kentucky.
What a performance by Kentucky. They came out, started out a little bit slow, lost that first set, and just roared back. They found their rhythm, they got it going, got their flow, got their offense going, and never looked back.
As I said right before first serve, it has been such a long, challenging, and very different and difficult season because of COVID. Championship point again.
What a rip on the outside by Allie Stumler. I am not surprised because she was doing it all night long. Big approach, gets outside the ball, cuts it inside the court for the win.
That was a championship Scud missile seen all around the Commonwealth. Wow. Just a tremendous team performance. The best offense in the country all season long. Madison Lilly at the controls. Again, the top setter I've seen in years. That's the watch party in Memorial Coliseum back in Lexington. Just a tremendous, tremendous accomplishment. And Omaha and Nebraska has been really good for the Skinners. That's Craig's wife, Megan. When Craig was an assistant coach at Nebraska, Megan was then an assistant soccer coach at the University of Nebraska. They met during that period of time, and then Craig, of course, went on 16 years ago to take over the head coaching job at Kentucky. Let's go down to Holly Rowe with the star of the match.
Well, Allie Stumler, your team tonight doing something that's never been done before in the SEC. What was special about this group that was able to get this championship in a historic way done?
Man, I could go on for days about this group. I mean, the emotions, obviously, that everyone's feeling, it's just so well-deserved. It's been a year now. We've been battling day in and day out in the court. We come in and we know what we have. You know, it was so just our hearts are ripped to pieces whenever we found out there wasn't going to be a championship last year, or I guess in the fall, and things are a little bit different. So we really just knew that this was the year to do it. When we found out there was a championship, you know, we're going in it and we're going hard.
Texas came out hot in that first set, and then you guys started to come alive. What did you personally do hitting over 470 for this match to get on track and pick up that momentum?
Yeah, I just knew that they're going to be a physical team. They're going to be a big block, big hitters. Their defense is unreal. So I knew that, tipping, rolling wasn't going to get the job done. So battling hard for my team, and, thankfully we found some court when we were swinging. But I think overall the team as a whole just kept battling, kept swinging against a huge block, which is just unreal.
Speaking of unreal defense, you are so good. You were pulling up balls. Nothing was hitting the ground for so many stretches there. What was that like, trying to be so on top of things?
Yeah, just trying to stay in tune with the play. It's really easy in an environment like this when you have thousands, yelling at you, just a lot going on, a lot on the line. So trying to stay in tune with your emotions and know that this is the point we focus on. Be where your feet are is what Craig always says. So just an unreal moment.
Be where your feet are as a national champion, Allie Stumler.
No better place to be, that's for sure.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Congratulations, Kentucky and Allie Stumler. Thank you, Holly. You look at the numbers, Stumler with 19, with 26, Maddie Skinner with 19, Avery Skinner with 14. On the other side, Logan Eggleston was just absolutely tremendous. Skylar Fields as well. It was the contest that we expected. But where was Kentucky just this much better throughout the course of the night?
I tell you what, they passed really well. They were able to stay in system. Of course, Madison Lilly, even when they weren't in system, was able to keep them there. She did a fantastic job playing defense, but let me tell you, their out of system attacking was so impressive tonight. Smart swings, big swings, not making wild errors in transition. That's what they did early on in the match, and then they steadied out, and that made the difference. It was the passing, and it was the out of system in transition.
Kentucky hits 216 in the opening set, which they dropped to Texas 25-20. They finished the match hitting 349. Holly Rowe, I think Kentucky's got a pretty good setter responsible for that improvement.
Well, she's the National Player of the Year for a reason. And Madison, you grew up around this game. Your mom was a high school coach. How have you grown up preparing yourself for this moment?
Oh man, I think playing in championships along the way helps a lot, but I mean, we didn't need inspiration tonight. We didn't need motivation. We knew what we were here to do. We were on a mission, and Kentucky volleyball is all about dreaming big. And we woke up this morning and we were playing like national champions, and nothing was stopping that.
You guys hit a bump in the road to start out. When was the moment that you felt it start coming together and seizing that momentum?
Yeah, I think just trusting each other. We talk a lot about eye contact and leaning in. Some of us were nervous, myself included, and hey, I need you right now. I need you right now. And being able to lean into your teammates and trust what we've been training all season. And we turned it around, and it was so much fun.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Madison Lilly, the National Player of the Year, Salima, 53 assists, 19 digs to give her team so many opportunities.
I tell you what, watching her set the ball, she's a coach's dream. You watch her play, you watch her run the offense, and she's so calm, she's so efficient, and she's so balanced. It's just a pleasure watching her play.
Let's go back over to Holly Rowe with the championship coach. Craig, what took you so long?
Well, Coach Skinner, you've been at this a long time, been building your program, and here it results in the hardest season ever to get your first national championship. How do you describe this moment?
Surreal, Holly. It's just, I can't, people are right, you can't put it into words, but our team was so freaking confident all day long. And it's 8 o'clock in the morning, Allie Stumler passes me in the hallway and she goes, "You ready to win the Natty?" And when your player is saying that, it's like, how can you not believe in them? And, the composer, but all the people that went into this is from 2005 on, and this year, I don't know how it's not harder than any title to win, that's for sure.
You guys did such a great job staying in system. Defense was so crucial in this. How would you describe sitting there watching them get ball after ball up and back in system?
It's absolutely amazing that they hit over 300, I think, at least they were, and we still dug the shots that we did in the fourth set to dig out of a 6-1 hole and creep back in and then make plays. And the resiliency and the toughness of these guys is ridiculous.
Coach, it's been a hard few days for Big Blue Nation. How does this feel to bring this home in a fan base that's been hurting?
Wanted to be at Kentucky because of that reason right there. The Big Blue Nation, and Megan and I just love being in Lexington, and all the Kentucky fans that make this place the most special place in the country, and I'm so glad that we could add a championship.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Congratulations to Craig Skinner. Texas is a magnificent volleyball team. It took what kind of effort and what kind of level of play after dropping the first set to come back win 3 in a row, and take home your first national championship to Lexington.
It really did. I mean, Texas came in here playing their best volleyball, playing at the highest level, and we knew this was going to be a battle. Both teams were playing this way. Texas had a fantastic season and played an unbelievable level of volleyball throughout this entire tournament. And this is where it is, and it was a tough battle against Kentucky.
Salima, lastly, when you look at the scorecard and how the match went, was there a turning point after Texas won that opening set? Was it the turnaround by Kentucky to quickly take control of the second?
It was the turnaround, and they just kind of started rolling. You could feel it, but they both were still in good shape, but you could feel that Kentucky believed.
The Kentucky Wildcats are the 2020 national champions of women's volleyball. What a tournament. What an effort by all of these athletes to stay safe, stay healthy, and compete and go at one another. Kentucky wins it 3-1. Be sure to join us for the NCAA trophy presentation coming up on the ESPN app. For Salima Rockwell, I'm Paul Sunderland, and our entire ESPN crew, thanks so much for watching.